kind of like a library.
How am I a library?
Because you just have all this information that's passed through you. And I've had times in my life where I've thought too much about regrets and stuff in my life, right?
Yeah.
And we've talked about that some in the past, like looking in the past too much, right? Or
right.
attaching myself to the past. Has there been anything along your journey that you've kind of regretted? And then how do you deal with regret?
I mean, individual choices and mistakes, yeah, but ultimately you learn from those. So, like, no. Because, like, even the regrets, the bad things or the stupid things, you learn not to do bad things or stupid things. You know, all those things are beneficial in some way if you can get through them. You know, if you, like, did something that resulted in someone's death or something horrible like that, yeah, it'd be a terrible regret. But I've been very fortunate that hasn't happened. But the dumb shit that I've done or the bad mistakes that I've made, they've taught me. You know, you learn. That's why failure is so important. Like, failing and fucking up and making mistakes, it's very important. That's how you learn. That's how the bad feeling that you get from something that you shouldn't have done or wish you didn't do or wish you did better. Like, especially failing at something where you half-assed it and you just feel like a fucking loser. Like, that just teaches you. It teaches you to get your shit together.
Well, you have such a good ability to learn from those things. Some people, I think, kind of it's just like it gets repetitive for some people.
That's dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous to dwell on past mistakes because people sort of define themselves by the worst moments that they've ever had. And if that's the case, like, some people are stuck in high school. You know, they're stuck in failures that they had, like, when they were first getting jobs, and they always think that they're a loser, and they don't like the feeling of failure, so they keep low expectations so that they never have to feel that. You got to get through it. You got to get through bad feelings. You got to get through failure. It's very important. And you get through it by just picking yourself back up and moving forward and going. But it's hard for a lot of people because that sting, they never get over it, the feeling of failure. And they don't have a good support system, like good friends. Like, having a good community of friends is very, very important, because you could feel like down, like if a girl broke up with you, and you feel like you're the worst. You're a fucking loser. Like, you're a piece of shit. But then you go out with your friends and you have a few laughs, and next thing you know, you're laughing and you're like, I'm all right. We'll be all right. And then maybe you meet a new lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she, like, picks you up and you're like, oh, we're going to be okay. And then you learn from the last mistakes.
Yeah.
That's life. It just, those feelings of failure are so hard. They're so hard to get over, and they overwhelm people, and some people can't get past them. And then every time some new thing comes up, when you have to rise to the occasion, you have to perform, you think about that time you failed, and it fucks your head up, man. You think, I'm a fucking loser, I can't do this, I'm going to fail, I'm going to fuck up, you know. Like bombing. Like, how many times have you had a bad set, and you're like, God damn it, I suck at comedy, I can't do this. I suck at comedy. That's just it, I just suck. And then you define yourself that way, and you got to get over it.
Yeah, I do know. Thankfully, you never have too bad in a row either, which is kind of interesting.
Well, you learn from that one, and you, like, coming out guns blazing for the next show.
Yeah. Do you feel like you learned that from somebody, or did you always just have that kind of intuition when it comes to that kind of stuff?
I think I learned it from martial arts, because you get your ass kicked, and, like, you don't want to get your ass kicked again. You either quit fighting or you learn how to get a lot better, you know? And then you get your ass kicked in training, which happens all the time. And, you know, you learn from those mistakes. You learn, you know, like, maybe you were stationary too much, or maybe you telegraphed too much, or maybe you got tired and you haven't been doing your cardio. Like, those failures that you have from martial arts are so consequential, because you get hurt. Like, you physically get punished, and then you don't want that to happen again. So you got to be either quit or get way better.
I like that. And that's great for a lot of my listeners. A lot of guys, you know, or just, you know, a lot of guys just trying to keep going in their lives, you know?
Yeah, with everybody. And my listeners, your listeners, anybody who's listening to anything.
Yeah,
people, just
totally.
People out there.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many self-help books. That's why there's so many motivational documentaries and motivational Instagram pages, is because people need stuff like that. They need something. And generally, the best version of it is coming from someone who's experienced fuck-ups and got through it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You know, you're like kind of like a library I was thinking about the other day in a weird way. That's interesting.
How am I a library?
Because you just have all this information that's passed through you, and you're able to, like, kind of, you're almost like a cleaners at the cleaners. If you ask a question, then it goes and gets the information and brings it to the front, you know, and it's like wrapped up kind of. It's cool.
That's a funny way.
It's a nice skill, man.